All right, good evening. Welcome to the Auburn Board of Health meeting, Monday, April 28th. It is now exactly 6 o'clock p.m. And first, I'd like to call review the agenda. Are there any items that you need to change, fix, delete?
Actually, yes, Ray. I do.
Okay.
We have a warrant from the assessor for solid waste billing that we
Okay.
need to add to the
Okay,
agenda.
sure, not a problem.
Please.
Easy enough. Put it under C. That works for you, new business?
Yep, that would be wonderful.
All right. No minutes I see to be approved this week?
We actually
Same
do
one I
have, let me just see, I believe Paula did finish the minutes
Okay.
for 11/18.
Oh, excellent.
Those are hot off the press, and I'd be more than happy to email those out to you.
All right. And everybody was present at this meeting, so.
And I'm happy to say that we are working on the second set as well.
Excellent. Peruse these. I'll do the fuses.
Hi, Chris. Hi. Yep, here we are, one, yep. Not much, they're looking at notes. I just turned it up myself a little bit when it's up to speak to see if I can get it. They're not talking. Ray, say something.
Okay, right now, I'll be looking at the bill schedule.
Did you hear him? No, well, the audio's on, yeah.
He gets his check from out in the world.
Okay.
That's
All right,
nice.
take care.
Is the audio working
I'm
now?
not hearing you, we don't know.
Oh,
Beautiful.
great.
So I can say lots of.
Go for it.
Just kidding.
Everything's
So-
on.
Anybody with any comments so far?
Somebody in there.
Darlene, do you have an extra one of those?
Yeah, these are actually yours, Marion. Yep. We
Those
printed
are
up
Marion.
extras for you.
Oh, excellent.
Paula printed those for you.
Thank you so
You're welcome.
much. You did it for me?
We have a motion on the,
Make a motion to accept the meeting minutes of 11/18/2013 as presented.
do we have a second?
I do, I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to approve the minutes, or accept the minutes as written. How do you vote?
Minutes?
Aye.
The minutes?
Yes, the minutes.
11/18/13.
Okay. Next, we have a bill schedule. We have 6 items on the bill schedule today. We have public health nurse, Eastern Mass Food Safety, which is training, Recreonics, Westerman Store Equipment, Emergency Medical Projects, and MIHA, which I believe is usually a seminar.
Training on test students.
Okay, want to take a look at those? I have soils tomorrow. And lead on Wednesdays.
That's a full schedule.
Yeah, for the next 6 weeks.
Yeah.
Okay, motion to approve.
I make that motion.
Do we have a second?
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 All right. Okay. How do you vote? Aye?
Aye.
All right, just need to sign. There you go. Paula, just on the additional, we didn't add the bill schedule in. I'm sorry, that was my fault. To add or remove items on the thing, we should add the bill schedule. That's my fault.
Oh, we should have had
It goes to
I put up my folder to keep it.
Okay, first hearing until 6:15, and once again, we have no clock on the wall, so someone will have to point out when it hits 6:15.
5 minutes.
All right, thank you. Okay, so at this point, we can go right into old business. We have programs, goals, and objectives, and whenever you're ready.
Sure. So I just wanted to update the board for the prescription take-back program. I wanted to let you know, last Monday, on April 21st, we had the opportunity to basically, kick off the program for prescription take-back. The med return box that's at the police station. I'm so thankful to have our chair, Ray, and vice chair, Steve, were able to show up with, we had four members from the chamber, as well as the police chief, Chief Slukas, were all present for the official photo for the med return. That program, I'm happy to report that is going very well. We placed that box there approximately about 3 months or so ago. We've already emptied the box once. We've already gone to Wheelabrator, and the drugs have already been incinerated once. And we're working on, there were already prescriptions in the box when we went last Monday. So I just wanted to officially, thank you all for coming, and also thank the chamber for their generous donation, also Wheelabrator, for allowing us to get rid of the drugs in a safe and legal manner. And of course, we couldn't do it without having it at the police station under the camera and security. So that program is officially off and running. It has been working, like I said, for the past 3 months, and we'll monitor it monthly to be able to empty that on a regular basis. I think it'll get just more and more exposure the more we have it out there. I believe the Auburn Daily and possibly the Telegram, we're going to do an article on that. So as soon as I see that, I will forward that on to you. Okay.
Continue? Yeah,
okay.
go right ahead.
The Hazardous Waste Day, I am thrilled to report that it is this Saturday. So it's going to be May 3rd. It's going to be from 9 to 12. It's going to be at the Horgan Ice Arena, 403 Oxford Street. I think that a lot of the residents have probably seen the flyer that went out in the Auburn News. We had a publication that went out, I think a week or so ago, went out in the Auburn News. We have it on the local cable access channel. We have it posted on the town website, and we've been, promoting it at all of the meetings. And I will do a reminder tonight as well, if we're done by 7, or Adam will cover us as well, just to remind the public that the event is this Saturday. We have really a lot of great systems in place for it. Continuation from what we've done in the past, and we've changed the layout a little bit to try to move the flow a little bit better through the area. We have the Masons that are going to be collecting all electronics. We've confirmed with them. They already have their box truck. They already have their volunteers. That's going to be a great opportunity. And actually, I think we've already gotten some calls from residents that are coming to the event. So they don't have to call. It's not a reservation, but we will have the box truck there. They'll be able to collect small donations for the items that are listed. On the flyer, they actually do have their price listing. Again, their donations for their charity, so they'll be handling that portion of it. In addition to that, we will have, of course, the hazardous waste collection by Clean Harbors. We'll have the tires being collected by Central Mass Mosquito Control. They'll have an area. We're grateful to also Osterman's for the propane tanks. They'll be doing the collection of propane as well. Wheelabrator, as always, collects our mercury items. And of course, Allied Waste Republic, they are donating the roll-off dumpster for solid waste. I think I got everybody. I hope I hope I did.
Batteries? We have
Batteries,
somebody
thank you very much. Interstate Battery, they did confirm, and
dropping a pallet.
yeah, they're gonna give us a pallet and some containers.
Oh,
So
good.
thank you very much, Ray. Thank you,
Excellent.
I didn't want to miss anybody. So they're going to be collecting, we'll be collecting batteries, and they'll come to pick those up. So we have, all those are confirmed in place. You have copies of all the letters in your packets. And we are pretty much set. The weather, I'm hoping, right now it looks pretty good.
Yeah.
The weather looks like it's gonna hold out. We'll get the rain out of here by Friday, and Saturday I think it's gonna be great. Again, the Household Hazardous Waste Day is open to Auburn residents. It's free to the Auburn residents for the hazardous waste, of course. The electronics is a separate, that's a charge for the Masons.
So there's something.
But we have a handful of volunteers. If any of you,
Thanks.
I know, I think I have Ray.
Yep, I'll be here.
If either one of you,
Absolutely.
that would be wonderful. We definitely could use you. So we are just trying to solidify our volunteers for this week. So if I can count Ray and Marion, and if you check your schedule, that would be wonderful too. We will shore up our volunteer list. I also wanted to let you know that we also have, for the town buildings, we have the DPW cleaning out all of their chemicals and automotive fluids. I'm connecting with them on Wednesday. They're going to collect theirs. I've already connected with the school's facility manager, and they are working on their chemicals. I'll be connecting with him as well this week. So we'll be cleaning out all the town buildings. Additionally, I'm cleaning out this building, the municipal building. We have about probably about 50 cans of paint downstairs that I will also be clearing that out as well. So we're going to try to pull everything together and get it cleaned out so that we'll be in good shape.
Are the cones and barrels going to be dropped off for us again this year so we can set those up?
Absolutely. I've already connected with the DPW this morning, and they will have cones and sawhorses for us to be able to set up, to be able to direct the flow and so forth. That will help us keep everybody kind of in a orderly manner throughout the event. I think that is...
Radios are charged.
Radios will have, yep. The radios we have, we're going to be using the Talkabout radios.
The little blue ones?
smaller
Yeah,
ones.
yeah, that's what we used last time.
Yeah.
They just, Andy forgot to charge them last time.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yeah, nope.
So we only had 4 working, so you want to make sure those are on the charger.
Yep. Absolutely. So we will have, the radios,
Good.
and we'll make sure they're charged, right?
So we have the group from, is it Doc coming out with his team?
Yes, I've connected with the CERT team.
Yep.
Dr. Pellegrino will have, he'll have volunteers that are very adept at moving traffic
Yep.
very well through the events, as they do for all the town events.
Yep.
So he's already confirmed that he will have volunteers,
Yep.
and I'll make sure I understand how many we have coming. I know he's checking on that. So this week, we're just trying to pin down how many people we'll have and where the place will have. I also have I worked with the assistant town engineer, Ms. Paquin, to prepare we have a map layout. So we'll be able to give that to people too when they show up, so kind of help you know where you're supposed to be. Do you have any questions for me? No? All right. We keep our fingers crossed that the weather holds out, and we're gonna have a great event.
Yeah, the last 2, 3 I've been involved in. How many have I been involved in?
That was
2, 3?
many as...
Not as many as you,
No,
but
since 2000 and... Paul and I
9,
been involved
2010 I
forever.
came in, so.
6, I think.
So, but no, they've been, every year they get better, so that's, and we've gotten more people, and people lined up at 7 in the morning when I'm setting up, there's
Yeah.
people lined up.
Yeah, I know.
Hopefully they're not there that early.
No, no.
Like I said,
we're
we're,
at 9.
yeah, the event starts at 9. We realize, you know, people are going to be there for 9, but we definitely,
Keep pulling that
we don't want people in line at 7.
No,
You know, we just need to get the place set up.
Yep.
And plus it also, you know, the company itself, Clean Harbors, is
They
going to
need
be
their
setting
time,
up.
yeah.
They need their time to get everything set. But we will be ready to go for 9, and, you know, I expect it to be a great event, so.
Do we have police presence with that?
Yes, we have the CERT that's gonna handle the traffic inside, but I will reach out to the police, just to be able to control the traffic on,
we haven't
on
in
Oxford
past
Street.
years gotten that busy where we've had to have the
Right.
police out there. They were put on notice that we were there, and if something happens,
Right.
we would ask them to step in. But I think we had that nice long drive that people take, go around the building, so it actually, I think we do 3 lanes, or was it 2
Yeah.
lanes into 3, or 3 lanes into 2, is what we've
Yeah,
done
I
around the back of the building.
It's not really that wide in the back, so we go 2, and then we're able to do the 3.
3 lanes,
Yeah.
okay, so we bring in, I think we could get 100 and something cars in line, so we've been in good shape with that.
The only time we had police presence is when we combined it with Oxford.
Oh, yeah, I wasn't involved in that one, yay.
So I will,
Just a
I'll,
note to the chief.
yeah,
Yeah.
I'll reach out to the
FYI.
chief. He is gracious enough to, you'll also see this week, they're gonna be putting on the boards, the electronic boards. There's a board
Mhm.
at the police station, and we also have a electronic board that's gonna be at DPW.
Mhm.
They're going to be advertising the hazardous waste all
Mhm.
this week for us.
Excellent.
So I confirmed that today as well, so that, that should be up. Hopefully you'll see it tomorrow, just to
Darlene,
remind people.
just one thing.
Yes, absolutely.
Every year, it seems it turns out to be a warm day, and we go through water like crazy. I can remember going out and getting 3 cases of water and bringing it back.
Yep.
So I was wondering, what should we do about that? I mean, I can get cases and put it in a cooler.
Yep, I
But-
can, I'd be more than happy to make sure we have, do we have a cooler?
We always use the styrofoam ones, and Andy
Oh,
used to save
okay.
those, and we
All
just
right.
use the ice packs.
I know
and do
some of
that.
the towns got coolers, so I didn't.
I don't think, no, unless it's in the trailer, but I don't know.
Okay, I
if
can
we-
check.
I don't know if we bought any.
I do have one,
We-
a large
You do?
one.
We were too
Okay.
busy buying generators and everything like that to worry about
Yeah.
little coolers.
Yeah, yeah,
Mhm.
okay, so,
Especially, you know, where
if you
those...
have a cooler, that
Yeah.
would be wonderful if you could bring that, and
Yeah,
I'll
it's-
make sure we have
Yeah, you
the
can
water.
pull on it too. Right beside where I always
Sure,
particularly end up is where they put in the electronics in the trucks.
No, they're not doing that there this year, so we're.
Oh, they're not doing
No,
it?
it's gonna be on the other side. We moved that.
Oh, you moved it?
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it won't slow down our pace.
Oh, okay. But whether I'm there or here, they sweat like crazy and they just empty.
Oh, yeah, they were
Yeah.
killing, they were going through a lot of water.
yep, okay. I will make sure that, we have, plenty of liquids on hand, anything else that you'd like to see?
I think that covers about everything. I can't think of anything else we're missing for that. We got cones, they're gonna take care of all the hazardous waste. We don't have to worry
Yeah.
about that.
And we'll get, obviously, all of the billing and scheduling, the bill schedule and all of that will come after with
Yeah.
the bill of lading
Mhm.
and
Yep.
destruction and so forth. So that will be brought to, a following meeting, and I'll let you know the amounts and so forth. But usually,
Yeah, do we have a cap?
we do.
All
So
right, and we have to let them know, because
Absolutely.
what they've done in the past is when it gets close, they'll say, this is what we're averaging right now, and then if we have to shut it down. We've never shut it down. The closest we ever got was a couple thousand, so it was like, they just let us know. Andy said, hey, let us know when we hit 10, let us know when we hit 15, just, by what they thought, by how many barrels they were putting up on
Yeah.
the truck and everything, just so I'd hate to run out of money,
Yeah,
so.
that is something that I've already identified with the site manager.
Yep.
So we will have a point person just for us to be able to connect
Excellent.
with. And that was part of the contract negotiation. So they will have a site manager that day that that we'll be able to connect with,
Cool.
and we'll be able to check with them. They know what our limit is, 20,000. That's what the residents have voted for the warrant, and we have that money. They
Good.
know that that's our cap.
Excellent.
Okay. So again, that I'm so happy to have any sets of hands that we can have, but I do expect that we're going to have a great turnout. Last time we did this, I think, Ray, you and I probably estimated about 460 cars.
Yeah, we lost
come
count
through.
after a while.
We're going to try to, what I'd like to have somebody do literally is just, while they're in line to count. We've got counters.
We do have a clicker somewhere.
Yeah,
I
we
know
have
that,
the
yeah.
clicker. If we can have somebody do the clicking, to be able to know
Yeah.
how many cars come through the event, because that helps us when we plan these things. So we're gonna try to have somebody do a clicker.
Yeah, we did close to 500 cars in, what was it, a little over 3 hours, because we started, when they were early, as soon as
Yeah.
the company was there, they said, yeah, we're good to go. And we started, it was a little before time, but
And if you remember, we were over last
we
time,
went
too.
over, we
Yeah.
went over a long time, because
Yeah.
we were still low in money, so we had time, and they were like, all right, we're here, so
Yeah.
worked out
So
good.
it's for residents, obviously the businesses, we can't accept businesses, but it's gonna be for the Auburn residents. All right, so that's the update on that. I will plan on seeing you on Saturday. And if anything comes up between now and then, please don't hesitate to give me a call. Like I said, we've got kind of a busy week trying to coordinate everything, but we'll get it all done.
Actually, we're at hearing time.
Oh, sure, okay.
So it is 6:21. I'd like to open the hearing for 411 Leicester Street. We have unfit for human habitation determination. So at this point, is there anybody here from that address? No. Okay, so we will still be able to hold the hearing, and we will go right to evidentiary, and that would be Darlene, whenever you're ready.
Okay. So this hearing was scheduled for today, in part for complaints that our department has received regarding this property. In the past month or so, we've received several complaints and concerns regarding the property. This property, you may recall, as of last year, we had orders issued for this property for a failing septic system. This case started back in June of 2012, believe it or not. We got a complaint for a failing septic system. At that time, there were orders issued, orders to correct, and there was also court action that was put into place. There was a series of months that the Board of Health was trying to work with the property owners at that time. And please forgive me, I wasn't here for some of this, so I'm just trying to get you up to speed. There was a hearing for a request for an extension for a repair of the septic system that this board heard, and this board actually granted a approval for a request that was basically to try to work with the property owner to get the septic system upgraded and to get some plans in place to get a design, to get an installer. Unfortunately, there wasn't any action taken by the property owner. I know there were some personal challenges also on the property owner's part. Again, the board tried to work with the property owners, and unfortunately, the property didn't have any repairs to the septic. In the fall of last year, the property was observed to be vacant. It was a vacant property, nobody was living in it at the time. I actually did an inspection, I believe it was in the fall, to confirm that. And then it was noticed through several calls to this office that there appeared to be people living in the property, as noted by some lights, some different lights going on, some different activity. I myself did not see anybody inside the property. However, we had several calls stating that people were seen coming and going. So I want to be clear, I have not encountered anybody in the property. However, I have observed on several different dates that there have been lights on and off in the property. It appears to be that somebody is coming and going there. I've left several cards at the property. I've attempted to contact the owner's family members at the property as well. I have spoken with the owner's, I believe it was the owner's brother, or siblings of the owner, and I've attempted to contact the son and daughter of the owner. The owner's sibling has stated that they are aware that the system is in failure. They know that the property is supposed to be upgraded. At this time, the information that they provided, that the system has not been upgraded, there is no plans in place to do that. And so I wanted to bring this to your attention because at the last dealings that we had with this property, you have given an extension. That extension was not followed through on, and although the property was vacant and we didn't have to pursue it at that time, now it appears that if somebody's habitating in the property, you know, are we going to now have to worry about the septic system breaking out again? It was observed in the past by the previous director that there was breakout. I think you've heard that before. That is documented well in our file. So I wanted to bring this to your attention and let you know that I have concerns that somebody might be living there. Also, in addition to that, there's some structural concerns at the property as well. The building inspector did actually go to the property today, and he posted the property. There's a porch on the property, I guess you would call it the rear porch, that is in total disrepair. Broken stairs, very unstable, really structurally unsafe. He posted the property today as an unsafe structure under section 101, section 108.1.1 of the International Property Maintenance Code for egress pathways to and from the entrances are unstable and unsafe. So that's an additional concern. If people are coming and going through unsafe stairs, obviously concerning. I want to be clear, neither the building inspector nor myself have been inside the property. However, I can say that we do have it well documented that we have a failing septic system at the property. So that, I think, is the evidentiary part of the hearing that I wanted to let you know. In your packet, you did get a copy of the notice that I sent out by certified and regular mail to the property owners' family members, Mr. and Ms. Whiting, and they were notified. We do have the certified mail receipt. However, we don't have the signed green card, but we do have the fact that it did get properly served.
Do we have a motion to close the evidentiary part of the hearing?
I'll make that motion.
One second.
Okay, it is a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
Aye.
Steve, how do you vote?
Aye.
And Ray votes aye, so 3-0 to close the evidentiary. Now it's time for discussion. Okay, so when it came off first, when the other inspector was here, was it declared unfit for human habitation at that point?
It was not.
It was not, okay.
No, I think there were discussions about it, but I think where it was left was that you had given the extension was in process, and then the previous director left and I
Yep.
came in,
Okay.
and it was just at that point, their extension would have run out.
Okay.
So if the property was vacant,
Mhm.
it wasn't a problem.
Mhm.
Yeah.
However, with the property showing signs that somebody is coming and going
Mhm.
now it's becoming an issue that, the board needs to be aware of.
Mhm.
So I think, if I remember this case correctly, they didn't want to declare it unfit for human habitation at that point because the owners said that they were going to get it fixed and taken care of, and they
Correct.
weren't going to have anybody in the house. And so at that point, we didn't declare it, and we were on the fence about declaring it unfit. Now, if I'm correct, a home can be declared unfit just by a septic that is failing, correct?
Yes.
I believe so in the code, you can
Right.
declare for that, okay.
So if you'd like, I can, so in accordance with the housing code, state sanitary code 410.831, finding that a dwelling or portion thereof is unfit for human habitation if an inspection conducted pursuant to 105 CMR 400.100 or 105 CMR 410.820 reveals that a dwelling or portion thereof is unfit for human habitation, Board of Health, after complying with said code. If the dwelling is occupied, issue a written finding that the dwelling or portion thereof is unfit for human habitation. The finding shall include a statement of material facts and conditions upon which the finding is based. Now, I just want to point out that previously the property was vacant,
Mhm.
so.
So- Yeah, so what we're also looking at is, we're also looking at 750 violations with the egress and the broken stairs and everything like that, and usually it's
Absolutely.
roof and everything, so.
Yep. There is the hearing, if a dwelling or portion thereof is occupied, obviously, I can't confirm that it's occupied, but I'm seeing signs that it could be occupied. There's exceptions to notification for hearing, obviously, we're doing the proper notification, that's, in emergencies. There's condemnation, order to vacate, order to secure, which is, I think, what we're kind of talking about here. I don't want to bore you reading it, but I mean, if you're looking to see under which part of the code, I think we can go under that. I think you agree, Ray?
Yeah. And I know, just thinking of the 750 violations, you're looking at, I think, 750I is the building and the egress, I believe. I'm off on it. I haven't done housing for a week. I'm a little off on it,
No, I
but
don't think you're off.
no, the 750s, I know the dwelling, getting in and out of the dwelling, is it? I thought it was I.
We
was
have,
one of the ones who
under
did it.
750, so for conditions deemed to endanger or impair health or safety, it's going to be 410-750. We have F, obviously, to failure to provide a toilet and maintain a sewage
Yeah.
disposal system in operable condition.
And that's enough to
So,
right there.
right, that right there is one of your criticals. And then you also have, anything that has to do with the building code for egresses.
I was wrong. I is garbage. So I don't know, but right here, roof foundation and other structural, so it's K.
What part of the roof did the building inspector note that had?
Well, it was not the
It's
roof,
actually the porch.
it was the porch, but that's part of the structural. It just starts off with roof or any other part of the structural, so that would be the
Predominantly from his inspection today,
walking around the,
just just the back entry, the porch
Yeah,
road.
the back entry is
Even after the
definitely,
photographs, right?
do on my phone.
Is there windows or is
Nothing
there,
inside.
is it boarded up at all?
No, it's not boarded up. No, if you were to drive by, it looks like a, you know, typical house. The problem is you have a well-documented file
Mhm.
for a failed septic with a whole bunch of, you know, I think the board has really extended to try to work with the property owner, but unfortunately, you know, there were some challenges in their family. I think the property owner herself passed. The family members have taken over the property, and you know, those are the members that you worked with.
Mhm.
You know, obviously understanding their family challenges, and I wish, you know, we've invited them. I wish they
Mhm,
actually
mhm.
came
Yeah.
to really talk to you, because I think that it's something that we could work out, you know, with regular pumping and getting, you know, somebody, a professional on board. I think we could work with somebody, but not having anybody here, not having anybody respond, not
Mhm,
having
mhm.
anybody, you know, answer my calls or my cards. It's hard to work with somebody that,
And I believe we did ask them
Isn't
for
talking.
pumping, and they were supposed to give pumping records, and we haven't received the record. I don't-
we did
Well,
get
oh,
some
something at the
records,
beginning?
yeah, but we
But
have,
nothing in the recent,
I think the last pumping record I have was from July of 2013.
yeah, so we're looking at 9 months.
Do we have a copy of the meeting minutes from that last hearing, last fall?
Let me see, I believe I do.
And are they actually the owners of record on this particular dwelling, or is it still in probate?
I can't speak for where, if it's in probate, I would have to get you information on that, yeah.
I want to be sure we can.
The minutes that you're referring to, Steve, are going to be from June 24th of 2013. And you had a hearing at 6 p.m. Hearing request by the Whiting family for 411 Leicester Street for an extension of time to vacate the premises. So the minutes that you're talking about are
Mhm.
here.
So I wasn't here for that, but there wasn't one in September.
Any thoughts, Marion, so far?
Oh, I can't, I'm trying to remember that.
I believe it was a brother and sister. They came
Yeah.
in and they were looking, you know, they were looking for time for them to move out. They didn't have the money because of the mortgage and everything like that. And they were looking to move out.
Can I just see that and then maybe?
And I just remember we'd given them a lot of, we gave them a lot of leeway.
411, how
So-
close to the curb is that?
Well,
On Leicester
let me
Street.
just also point out, this was the letter that Mr. Pelletier, the previous director, had issued in June, after, I believe it's going to be after that meeting. So he had issued basically a letter following the request, and this would have been after your June meeting, and basically gave the extension until September 1st of 2013, which is what I refer to in the hearing notice,
Okay.
to initiate repairs of the on-site sewage disposal system, provided that we had regular pumping.
Mhm.
The matter was scheduled to be reviewed, obviously, in September, and then we didn't hear anything from them. You know, there was the changing of the guards from Andy to myself.
Want me to get the
at-
September minutes?
At that point, I
September.
did speak with Andy regarding the property, and he said, you know, Dal, the property's vacant. So it wasn't such a burning issue.
No, because there was, we
Right.
had given them time to move out
Right.
and then start repairs, and they had asked us, I
Right.
believe at that meeting, if there was no one living there and everything was shut off, if they could have, you know, if that would, and Andy was fine, he said, yeah, if
Right.
everything's shut off and there's no water going through,
Yeah.
we're okay, take your time, get it fixed, but if people have moved back in,
Right, so Andy
Well,
did,
the evidence
you know,
shows that there could be people
Who
who
moved
moved
in.
in
yeah,
Yeah.
he had,
or
he,
squatters.
he had a
But there's
well-documented
power on it.
file, right. The, like I said, he did confirm that the property was vacant. He
Yep.
did convey that to me, you know, kind of before he left, and I did check with him on that, so it wasn't such a burning issue. Obviously now, with neighbors calling, people, you know, noticing if there's people coming and going in the property, obviously the septic system is gonna be a concern. That property, is close to the street, to answer your question, Steve. One of the, other big concerns is there's a stream that goes right behind the house. So the septic system, is in very close proximity. I would say approximately within 50 to 75 feet of the river.
Which can
Yeah.
You don't need
bigger
breakouts.
problems.
Right, so there was breakout previously. I can tell you today from the site visit, just to give you the most accurate update, from today, I did not notice breakout. But again, you know, it's just within the past month that I think we've started getting the calls, month and a half or so.
And they had already stated that they were seeking, you know, financing and alternative, you know, location
Correct.
while this was being.
And no response from the parties that you sent the letter to so
Unfortunately,
far?
no.
No evidence in the yard, in the area of the system that it had been pumped recently, or any
No,
sign of disturbing of the,
unfortunately, no.
no evidence that we could see?
No. The, just to give you, you know, kind of, to help you visually look at it, we do have, this was the plan from 2003, just so you can have a visual on it, if I may. So this is Lester Street here. We have the house. This is kind of a driveway that you pull in. This right here is Old Rochdale Road. It's kind of like a dirt, if you kind of think of like a dirt driveway. It's all muddy. There's some tire tracks over here. This is the house, the deck that I'm referring to, that the building inspector deemed unsafe today, is this deck that's noted on the plan. This is the area of the septic system, obviously underground. And then this area here is going to be the location for the stream that is pretty close. So you can notice on the plan the wetland flags, okay, as noted from the engineer. So it's pretty close. I think even look at even riverfront, he's even noting it. So what is that, 38 feet? I imagine they did a LUA for this. Okay, so on your plan, note the entire property is located within the 200-foot riverfront area. Plan to be presented to Auburn Conservation Commission by Donnelly Wetlands Consultants, offsets to wells. Local upgrade requested, so local variance to reduce SAS size from the requirement. So he's noting that the riverfront,
Attack properties.
yeah. So I want to give you a visual just to have you understand basically how close.
And you said that the building inspector posted,
He did,
he posted the property today unsafe for the,
absolutely. So he
Okay.
has the property posted. That's for building issues.
Yeah.
And this hearing obviously is before you to see if you want to take any further action to be able to convey to anybody who might be coming and going there that we need to, number one, upgrade the septic system, you know, declare the property unfit, you know, based upon the previous history and what's going on here. I feel it's the responsibility to give you that information to let you make that decision, but we are getting, you know, we're definitely getting calls on this.
We have to make a decision because there's a breakout, it goes in the stream and conservation comes in and we didn't do anything. So we have to make a decision on something, what we're gonna do. I'm all for declaring unfit as human habitation, even if just on the septic issue alone. We know there was breakout. They haven't shown us the plans that they got any work done on it and repaired anything.
It doesn't look like there's been any recent,
No,
since last fall.
since last fall, so if they can't show to us that it's been done, then they've already they're way past all the time that we've given them. Also, the house, if the deck is falling off the back of the house, we don't know, but, and we don't know what's on inside. We only have line of sight from the sidewalk and from the driveway is all we can do. But you can declare a home unfit just for the septic failure. And with the other thing too is under K of 750, it's also, it can be declared unfit. Any of those items under 750, there's 14 or 16 items. Any one of them you can deem it's a 24-hour fix. So we can order board and secure. And that would be, if it was up to me, this was my town and I was doing it where I work, that would be a declare unfit for human habitation, order board and secure, and then you put it on a list for the police department. If they drive by and see anybody there, they can knock on their door, but I don't know how often does that.
Well, they actually, the police department has contacted me as well.
Okay.
So in addition to the calls that I'm telling you that we're getting on this property, police have also called me, you know, in the evening, you know,
Yeah.
later,
That someone's in there or the
that
lights are
that they've
on?
responded.
Oh.
So they've been at the property, they didn't feel safe on the porch as
Yeah.
well, so, you know,
Yeah, and I think
Again,
And National Grid actually has service running active to that house?
there's
and
electricity.
that's,
Oh,
and I just don't, yeah.
There's electricity, I'm sorry if I didn't say that before, but yes, there's electrical meter.
Well, he told us that was lights, so I figured it was
Yeah.
electricity.
I've also
It could be-
seen,
it
A
could
vent
be-
generator.
It could be squatters with,
I've also seen what appears to be candles inside.
Yeah, so, I mean, right there, do we know if there's any water? Has Auburn Water said there's water to the property?
It's a
or-
well.
It's a well. Okay, if they have electricity, the well runs. So it's not like the water shut off or anything. Oh,
this is always my thought, is that if it's not even the rightful owners that are there, if it's a squatter in any way,
you shut off the power and
You
the
know,
water, but,
but then if it is actually being fed from the grid,
yeah.
then somebody's gonna get a bill for it, or they'll shut it down, but if it's candles and lanterns,
Yeah, and then we look
a light
at,
is a light,
and then we look at fire hazard.
that's a bigger concern too, so.
And, I mean, not trying to say wash my hands of it, but if we declare it unfit and we post it and everything, we've done our due diligence. If we don't do it and something happens and it comes back, and I'm not saying just a CYA or anything, but we have to make a stand here and decide how we want to do it.
And it's been over a week since this letter went out, so with no response from
Either
parties
Willis or
that you've
Jennifer.
listed here.
Right, this,
Yes.
the order was sent last week.
So,
And again, are they the legal owners of the property? Is it still in probate?
The order was sent, both certified and regular mail, to Willis Whiting III and Jennifer Whiting.
They're the last
Those-
known residents?
Those are the last known residents, and those are also the, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe from
They
the
were the
minutes.
ones who were here,
Those were
yes.
the ones that
Next to
came
Kenneth, former-
before
Yeah,
you,
that
right.
was their mom.
But again, who's the legal owner of it?
When we were here last time, if I'm
Check
correct,
minutes.
they had said that their mom, it was still under their mom's name. She had passed away and they hadn't had anything changed over yet. So, I mean, I just don't think everybody should be living there on the condition it's in, and it's going to cause more of a health hazard if there's a breakout.
Well, and not only, beyond the health.
I
hazard,
believe
but
it
the
is
safety.
Willis
Oh,
Whiting
safety.
III.
Yeah, so I'm
Is it-
just having her double check, but the minutes that you have, just to answer your question, Steve, at June 24th, 2013, who was present at the meeting. These are date stamps, so let me see. Willis Whiting III and Jennifer Whiting.
Yep.
Those are representatives and current residents of 411 Leicester Street. And then there was also Ellen Whiting, a relative. I don't know who
Yep.
Ellen is.
She was the aunt who was trying to help them.
Interested parties and current
Okay.
residents, so that doesn't say who's the legal owner.
Yeah, so that's who I had sent the notice to. I can tell you that, if I just look back, again, I think the previous orders that Andy had sent out went to Carol. Carol Whiting was the property owner.
Ms. Carol, the
Ms.
deceased.
Whiting is, yeah, unfortunately has passed.
So,
And they haven't responded to anything.
They have not, unfortunately.
So how do we, if that occurs that we have to,
So what is before you today is going to be whether or not the board wants to move forward with declaring the property unfit for human habitation. What would that would include? Obviously, we did the proper notification. We sent out both certified and regular mail. Unfortunately, nobody is present here. You're discussing the particulars of the case. I'm giving you the history on what the property is. I think you probably remember it. Again, this was kind of before me, but I think it's a well-documented file that you have a failing septic system. There was an extension request from the family members to the previous property owner. Those, unfortunately, did not come to fruition. We didn't do take any action on those. The property became vacant, which was fine at that point. So it was fine to be left in that state. But since that time, it appears that the tides have changed, and there appears to be people coming and going. Police have responded to the property for complaints. The Board of Health has received complaints. It appears that there's signs that people are living there. You've got the concern for the structural concerns, as noted by the building inspector today. We've got concerns for the riverfront being in very close proximity to a failing septic system. That septic system has been in failure since 2012. And now that people appear to be living in the property again, there's the concern for a breakout going into the riverfront and waterways. So again, I wanted to bring this to your attention because it's my responsibility to let you know when something is escalating. This appears to be escalating.
The police have been on the property after they've been notified. They
Yes.
felt unsafe on the porch.
Absolutely.
Any report of any visualization inside the structure when they were there?
They saw lights in the property, but did not have anybody, come, respond. They didn't feel safe. I believe, if let's see.
Structurally from the...
Yeah. So on March 20th, I received a call from the Auburn Police stating they went to the property due to complaints for somebody living in the vacant property. Police stated they did not believe that anyone was in the dwelling, however, the porch was unstable and did not appear safe.
They didn't specify further on the nature of the lights that they saw.
No, I believe they noted that there was lights on in the basement. I
That just
did a
doesn't
site
feel
visit.
good to me.
Excuse me?
That just doesn't feel right to me. Now, the notification went to the house in question, 411,
It did.
and there's confirmation of delivery to someone at that place?
We don't
so-
have a returned, we don't
Okay.
have the green card signed,
So we
no.
don't even know if they received this notice.
But we have sent it in accordance with
Yes,
what's
yes.
what's legal, yeah. I've done site visit to the property the day after. I've left cards. The cards have been, when I've gone back, the cards have been removed.
Yeah.
I've spoken to a family member. I've left messages. I've observed candles and lights.
See, that again is my concern. If it's being powered by the grid and if there are electric lights being left on for someone that may be there, for whatever purpose,
Mhm.
it's a completely different safety issue than if they're using kerosene or candles or other, non-electric methods of creating a light source in that structure.
And
So
if they had
of
to
course that
do
really,
heat, were they using electric heat or heaters or something like that? We
What?
So let's go forward.
So,
so I'll make a motion that we declare based on the codes that we've discussed, the structure currently unsuitable for human habitation and in place in order to board and secure.
do we have a second?
I second that.
Okay, since it is a hearing, there's a roll call vote. Marion, how do you vote?
Aye?
Steve, how do you vote?
Aye.
Ray votes aye, 3-0, to have the property declared unfit for human habitation and boarded in order to board and secure.
Is there a way that we can find out about the electric? Or at least,
I
You can check it, you can see the
called-
power
yeah.
moving.
yeah.
Oh, no, I had
Yeah.
checked that.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
no, I've already confirmed that.
Oh,
I've called in previous cases, I've called the National Grid. They don't actually tell you
No.
who's on the bill.
Well,
You know,
just-
it's kind of a,
Since Chief Coleman a copy
Confidential
of the
thing.
order,
Yeah.
just so
Oh.
that his department is
Yeah.
aware that.
absolutely. I
I
think
don't know
I,
what's going on
if
there.
I'm not mistaken, I think I
He was.
copied, yeah, both
Yeah.
police and fire chief,
Okay.
building,
Yeah.
planning. They've all of the emergency responders have been notified. They are aware of this property,
Okay.
but I'll make sure that any documents going out. So you want to declare it unfit and board and secure.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay, at this point, I'll take a motion to close the hearing.
I make that motion?
A second?
We have a motion, a second to close the hearing. How do you vote?
Aye?
Aye.
Aye. 3-0, close the hearing at 6:56 PM. Okay, at this time, we can jump back into, I think we left off on emergency planning.
Oh, okay, great. So emergency planning, I wanted to, oh, thank you. So I know that, Steve, I think it was you that had tried to get onto, registered on the HAN,
Mm-hmm.
and we got kind of a surprising message that,
No can do.
they don't have enough room on the HAN to put you on the HAN, which I find is a little,
Disturbing.
yes, thank you. A little concerning that we don't have enough room on the emergency notification network, but I'm going to try to get more information on that, I appreciate you making the effort to try to get registered, because that's one of the goals in our deliverables, to get all of you on the HAN and making sure you're receiving the Health and Homeland Alert Network updates. So I'm going to see what I can do to find out how we can expand that. I also wanted to let you know on the emergency planning front, the radios that we had mentioned previously that we're going to be using, we have 2 sets of radios, I think you probably remember. We have the Talk About radios that we'll use at the hazardous waste event, and then we also have kind of more of a heavy duty radio that we currently got from the Region 2 Emergency Preparedness Coalition. Those radios currently are not licensed by FCC. They're in the process of getting those reprogrammed. So we'll be taking all of those radios actually next week. I have scheduled to have those radios brought back to the region. They're going to reprogram them and get them licensed so that we'll be able to use them in an emergency. Since our last meeting, I have identified, we have all the radios, we have like an inventory on the radios. We have, the radios are being housed down at the sewer department. Jeff Mitchell, who's also in the fire department as well, is very adept at knowing how to use the radios and keeping them charged. He's got them all pretty much on the chargers for us, so they're being actively, followed and handled. So we appreciate that that assistance from him. I've also talked to him about having those radios and having them reprogrammed. He feels there's a great benefit to making sure we have radios available in the event of emergency. So just wanted to let you know that's happening. I'll keep you updated on that. May I continue?
Oh, yeah, go right ahead.
So, Central Mass Mosquito Control, we're coming to that time of year where we're gonna start seeing, kind of, mosquitoes and getting, calls regarding, pools and so forth, which we've already responded to a couple of, stagnant pool calls. Those are already coming in. But this particular, budget notification and compliance certification policy, in your packet, I gave you a copy of their paperwork that Central Mass Mosquito Control had sent out. Each year, it appears that they have a yearly review of the budget, that appears that they did this in January, and at that time, they determined from the towns in the district, in the region, what the allocations are going to be for local aid distribution. In your package, you'll see that Auburn is getting a 2.08% of the total budget, which comes out to be $42,532, which is great. And this is determined through the cherry sheet assessments. This is basically your notification of what we're going to get for FY15. They are actually asking for a declaration of support or no support for the mosquito control funding. This is my first experience with this. I don't know, I'm guessing they do this every year. I don't know if this was brought up last time around, but this seems to be basically their way, and this is my interpretation, their way of letting you know that yes, you are going to be allocated this funding, this is the amount, and you have a chance to say, yes, we support it, or no, we don't support it.
It's been done every year.
Yeah, I would imagine it does. So this is basically, if you had some opposition to that, you didn't think that this number was correct or determined properly, you could say, well, no, we don't support it, and these are the reasons why. I think this is probably a pretty basic formula that they do every year, so I wanted to bring it to your attention and let you know if you want to sign it or if you want to give the authorization to sign it.
I think in the past we've given Andy,
Okay.
because actually I don't think we can give it to you. I believe that it has to come from the town manager because it is a money. We don't hold the purse strings.
When you look at the-
And if we did, there'd be a lot more funding going on around here.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
I believe you have to go and move up the ladder on that one. We support. I mean, I support it.
Support it.
I support it. I think Marion
Okay.
has to support it.
Okay.
So yeah, it has to go through someone at the town on the higher level. And you can, if they ask, oh, bring it in front of the board, you can say the board already gave their assent.
Yeah.
We
Okay, that's wonderful. I just wanted to basically let you know that it has come through, let you know what the amount is. We get really great, service from them. They do the routine testing, they do the collection, the mosquito sampling, they do the testing, they let us know when there's a problem. They are good about spraying, they're very proactive, they try to do cleaning of culverts in the spring and the fall. One of the items that they do for communities is the hazardous waste day. They collect the tires as a service to this is not going to cost us anything additional. So it's a really nice piece. So again, I just wanted to bring to your attention, if you're okay, I'll move forward with contacting the financial officers and get that signed. Sound okay?
Sounds good.
Okay.
That's good.
Is that everything in old business?
I think under, do we want to put this now, the item that we added?
That would go under solid waste and new business because it's a new signature.
Oh, okay, all right.
So that's why I put it.
All right, that's fine.
So if old business is done, we can move on to new business.
Okay, beautiful. In your packet, I wanted to let you know some good news. We have If you recall, we had a property that we did have to declare unfit for human habitation back in January. This was a property that was 17 Washington Street, Lot 5. This was a mobile home that we were called to, and the property had to be declared. We went through the formal process with the board. I'm happy to report that I did do basically a site visit to check the compliance. The owner of the mobile home park did call me. They have cleaned out the entire mobile home. They have a dumpster that they were able to remove everything that was unsanitary in the mobile home. They've got it down to studs, and they're going to be rehabbing the entire property to basically sell again. So I just wanted to let you know that we have some good things moving forward, and I have removed the posting, and prior to them rehabitating the property, we'll go in with the building inspector as well.
Pre-occupancy inspections.
Yep, absolutely. So that's some good news. Christian's Law public hearing. I wanted to also bring to your attention in your packet that there was a public hearing recently in Worcester for the Christian's Law. That is a law that has to do with the minimum requirements for personal flotation devices for children at recreational programs and camps. This is something that we saw roll out last year, and they are actively working on regulations for this year. They had a public hearing, and quite a few people attended and provided testimony for suggestions that they'd like to see made to the proposed regulation. This is going to, I think, take some time to go through, but I just wanted to bring to your attention it is something on the forefront. It would be something that Board of Health would have responsibility to enforce. So we also want to pay attention to any new regulations that are coming down the line that we would be responsible for.
Do we have many swimming camps in town?
We actually, yeah, we have a municipal recreational program, but we don't offer swimming at it. There is one beach that we license. It's through the Century Sportsman's Club, and they don't actually offer a swim program. It's the beach is open to their members. So I actually spoke to them last year about this particular law as well, and gave them information about it, but they don't actually have swim programs down there. The beach is used just for their members. So they wouldn't be held to those standards.
I just see this as being, I have 7. So I just see this as being a lot for the boards of health to pick up and run with. It's good. I read it. It's a good law. I like a lot of stuff, but it's the training and getting everybody involved. And I mean, you were at the same meeting I was at and watching all that stuff go on. So I think it's going to be good, but it's just more coming down on the plate.
It is, and I just, again, because this potentially is going to be falling under our responsibility, we have to pay attention to it, and it is in process. Animals? Okay. Animal update. I wanted to let you know we are receiving at least 1 to 2, sometimes 3 applications a week on chickens. There's a big movement towards people having chickens, and I imagine this time of year kind of lends to it as well. The building inspector is receiving those because he's doing his zoning interpretation requests on them. So he looks at if the property is zoned for it. It then comes through, if he gives the okay, it comes through the Board of Health for an animal permit application. We then send that out to our animal inspector, and from there she does inspections to see if it's going to be something that chickens can be allowed in that location. So there's quite a lot of work being done on this front, which moves me to, kind of, I think that more and more the animal applications will need to figure out as far as the fee schedule, as far as what we want to do for these chicken requests, and do we want to treat that the same as, if somebody has cows, llamas, horses, if it's the same, obviously, weighing out what we're doing for these inspections in the amount of time.
Does Auburn have a bylaw on chicken runs and everything like that? I know some towns, if you have so many chickens, you have to have so many feet of space for them to be able to move and not just kept in a cage.
No,
Auburn doesn't have a...
not to my knowledge.
Because I know
So-
we just picked up animals, 2 years ago? The animal came into,
We've always had animals.
we picked up the dog officer. That's what it did. That's right. That was 2 years ago. Okay. I just...
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, the chickens.
But, so I just wanted to let you know that it's...
anything on roosters? Did we not allow
We
roosters?
actually, well, no, we haven't had any rooster complaints.
No.
Okay.
So knock on wood.
Okay.
Knock on wood, we're okay on roosters.
Because the more chickens you get, the more
Yeah,
issues
eggs.
and the roosters start coming.
So,
Fresh eggs, that's,
I want to kind of just move that forward. There's been some really highlights happening in the animal world as far as what boards of health responsibilities are and making sure animals are being properly permitted. So I think this is something that we will have to look at. I mentioned at the last meeting that I'd like to have the animal inspector and animal control officer come to a meeting because they're the ones that are on the front lines. They're the ones handling these issues. And we have quite a few animal complaints and permits that we deal with on a daily basis. So I want you to be aware that that takes up a good portion of time, and often people are very passionate about their animals because they're, family pets. But we want to make sure that we're handling what we need to do responsibility-wise for inspections and permitting. And obviously that comes right from the professionals that we have handling the animal world here. So we're going to move forward to figure out what we want to do for these animal applications. Okay, does that sound reasonable?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
It's driving me crazy.
Okay.
I have so many calls per week. I'm on illegal chickens
Yes.
and roosters.
And yours is more in residential capacities?
We do have some areas where there are farms, and we allow those, but we have you need a variance to have a rooster in town. We don't allow roosters. I know somebody who likes his chickens.
So that's the update. I just want to let you know the chicken applications are coming fast and furiously.
And as I mentioned to you last time, I think it's a growing trend. It's going to continue to
Yep.
grow.
Oh, yes.
Now, there could be a potential conflict of interest for me to discuss this particular case where my daughter is now becoming a chicken girl herself. But from my perspective, we need to maintain a semblance of cleanliness and order, but then we don't go to every homeowner that has a cat and a dog and a parakeet to do a complete. So on one hand, we don't want to drive our animal control employees crazy, but we just don't want to just carte blanche go willy-nilly and let everything go flying out as well.
I have a little trouble hearing you.
yeah,
Okay,
I do too.
sorry. I have a hard time talking loud right now. But anyway,
Yeah.
to come down with a kind of an idea,
Well,
like a guideline.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. No,
And,
it's-
we don't go out and inspect every homeowner that licenses their dog.
But the difference is, and this is the same issue we just had at the Board of Health meeting in Framingham, is chickens are livestock. They're producing something for you to eat. Cats and dogs don't. So there is you're making sure they're being fed correctly, making sure there's no chemicals that's gonna harm the egg that someone else is gonna eat. So that's the two things is, I don't think we should be there every week, but yeah, a
No.
yearly inspection. We do that with cows in the barn book. So I think that's how the chickens would fall into.
Yeah.
I think the chickens fall into a barn book.
and that's kind of a yearly inspection just to make sure the safety of the animals. And that's where that comes out. I understand what you're
How
saying.
many households do we have in town?
Yeah.
We get 10% of them that have a chicken in the backyard.
Well, that's why I want to bring the animal professionals here,
Mhm.
so that you're understanding what they are seeing,
Yeah.
what we have coming into the office, what we need to respond to, and by law, what we're supposed to be doing. My understanding is Department of Agriculture requires that they're required to be inspected. They're supposed to be in the famous barn book that Ray is referring to. So we also want to pay attention to, on a bigger picture, we're in Auburn, in our own section of the world, which, you know, I think the trending for having people have their own eggs and so forth, I think is a wonderful thing. And there's a great learning curve to that, in having kids understand where food comes from and how that is conveyed. I think that's important. I think that we should promote more of that. But I also want to make sure that we're paying attention to Department of Agriculture laws.
Absolutely.
And making sure that we're doing what we're supposed to be doing. In the big picture, a lot of the avian flus of the world are passed by fowl, you know what I mean? So we want to pay attention to where in the town do we know where our fowl are, you know what I mean? Are they being inspected on a regular basis? Are they healthy? You know, are they being kept in clean and sanitary conditions? Do people understand how to keep themselves protected as well, you know, when you're dealing with sick animals and so forth. So in the bigger picture, I just want to make sure we're following the state rules and keeping people safe handling, you know, the animals. So that's kind of one of my goals, to, you know, be able to move us in that direction. And I think the animal professionals that we have, I think, can do that, you know. I think with your guidance and with the trend of this happening, we need to understand where the animals are in town. We're not looking to over-permit everybody, but we need to understand in our section of the world where the animals are and how they're being taken care of. Does that make sense?
Just safety.
Yeah.
I mean, my experience is I've had some really good, I go out on a call, and it's really good. They have 22, they're well taken care of, they shovel it out every couple of days, so I know it's good. Then I have others where I was like, it would be easier just to put these animals down because they're covered in everything. So you have someone who's doing it right, and I have people who are doing it wrong. So I think between the two of us, we'll come to an agreement in the middle, and that's where I want to be.
And again, it's a matter of complying with the requirements for safety, health,
Absolutely.
but not driving the staff totally crazy.
Right.
No, exactly.
Yep.
I mean, to me, with a barn book, it's once a year, that's what they get done, and they go in, make sure they do the counts, they make sure, and they do a quick check. If there's a complaint, well, every time a complaint comes in, you have to go out on it. So, and that's what ends up happening with us, is we get more complaints, and I go on and say, well, they have a permit, but they have a rooster, so I tell them, the rooster's gotta go. But other than that, you know, if people are taking care of them, I love animals. I'd love to have a farm, I just don't have the property for it, so I'm not against chickens, but it's just, as long as it's being done right, that's what I look for. And the permitting of chickens, I think, is something that we're gonna be seeing a lot more of, like you said. I'd love to have fresh eggs every morning.
I would too. Where's your
Where's your
I don't think they're going to be egg layers.
All right.
So, all right. Anything else on animals?
Nope.
No.
All right, we're into solid waste, and this is where we had an addition to
Yes.
the.
Thank you so much. The solid waste, the addition that we have, I received from the assessor's office. This is going to be your typical solid waste billing for 2014 for the period of January 1st through June 30th. So this is basically the board's signatures are required in order to send out the billing. You've done this.
It's
Oh, these are just partial,
Just
partial
the
bills, it's not the
partial
full. Okay.
Yes.
we're billing twice a year.
Yeah.
Yes.
But this is just 21, not all of them. This is something else. There was some bills. That's why I was looking at the amount saying it should be almost 20 times that.
Yeah.
There was some that were, what does Mary say, if they came in for an abatement afterwards or something like that,
Yeah.
there are some that get adjusted. So this is required to be signed by the board.
Okay. And do we vote on this one?
No, you just need to sign it.
Okay, I can't remember.
So
That's an
all three
easy
members,
one.
That would be great.
All right, and the next item is inspections.
Okay. Inspections, I'm happy to report Eileen is just going like a banshee. She is been out doing inspections. She's done, since our last meeting, 39 inspections, not including re-inspections. She has been working very hard with our seasonal places as well to get them open and up to date. We've had a lot of the soft serve testing and ice cream testing have been updated and education has been given. We've opened a new establishment. We have, I think I had mentioned it last time, Jack's Variety. We have a new convenience store in town in the Heritage Mall. So we have quite a lot going on. Eileen's been very busy, to say the least, and has been doing a wonderful job. She's already taken it upon herself to update our spreadsheets, to expand on our spreadsheets, to include easier ways for us to be able to do contacts for the establishments. And I think she's put a lot of goals on herself as well. And I just wanted to let you know that we seem to be doing well on getting food off and running.
Excellent. All right. So still no donuts.
Donuts, no.
I was just doing that just for you.
Eileen, do you have anything to add?
No,
All right. So do we have the list of communicable disease?
Thank you, Paul.
Any trends?
I haven't,
Any Lyme disease or anything like
I
that?
haven't,
Stay away from measles.
Measles.
yeah, I know that in the
Do you have any
past,
here?
in the past month, we have had an uptick in some GI illnesses in
How
some of
about
our
that thing? Oh, I remember seeing
in
that.
some of our long-term
Where
care
did that come
units,
from?
which is,
Tell me.
I don't want to say common, but is not unusual for this time of year. So GI illness has been
Measles.
followed.
Yep.
None here, it is, none has been
Public
detected,
health
Outbreaks.
nurse.
which is good.
And
No,
she has that
but
under control.
there's plenty out
So
there. Go to
they-
labs.
I just
You
know
know,
the
you
next,
have
the
to
next
have
month we're
measles
gonna
or
start
upper.
seeing the Lyme
It's
disease,
what
the
people aren't
ticks. and stuff.
vaccinated and enough people get it.
Yeah.
That's good.
If you, obviously, if you have any questions, I can certainly relay those to Cheryl.
Yeah, I just know with, usually I'd see the trend, see what's happening,
Yeah.
see where it
Let me
is.
look at it a second, can I?
Look at it.
The biggest thing that we'd probably be looking for is measles.
Yeah, big. We're up to,
Because
we're up to 5.
Because of
we
the
had a little
outbreaks
outbreak
in
before.
the United States, in various areas, various states.
Oh, we had them a month ago. That was in Framingham.
Oh, did you?
We had the big outbreak in Framingham, residents from 3 separate towns. So,
How many outbreaks?
I think we had 6 cases, 5 were definites. There was some international travel,
Oh, that's,
so
that's,
we traced
That's
them all
key.
back and did everything we could. Big companies, small companies, there was people
you
everywhere.
did that very good.
Oh, God, no, my
Oh,
public health
great.
nurse did. I didn't. I helped her, but I didn't do it, so, yeah. I'm a food guy, I don't need to see
Oh,
that.
Do you, obviously, is Does the board have any questions that you need me to relay to the public health nurse?
Anything?
No,
No? Okay. You're satisfied with the report?
we're good.
Okay.
Couple of hits here and there.
All right. Meetings, we have them set right now for the 12th and the 26th of May. The 26th is not holiday this year, right?
Here it is.
It is.
Oh, it is?
It's Memorial
It
Day.
is?
A
Yes.
Memorial.
26th is Memorial.
Can I do it as a
So
Monday,
we
so.
don't want to do that?
No.
We want to shoot for the 12th?
Let's shoot for the 12th.
I will not be here on the 12th. I'm on
Oh,
vacation.
no.
We can
I'm
get
sure.
Sheila to step in if we
Yeah.
need to.
And we've got it televised, so.
That's what's great.
So we can set the 12th, and if we need a second one that month, we can always, if you see a need for one.
Okay.
Other than that, right now, I would table it, and if that's all right with everybody else, set up for the 12th, table the 26th, and if we need something on the 19th, if we get something that has to be done before June, then we can always move it to the 19th and do a one the week after if we have to.
Okay.
Any other questions or concerns?
Motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
Hi.
She didn't even know your motion, she just figured she seconded it.
Thank you.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. It is night.
Thank you
Don't
for
forget,
this.
Household
Thank you.
Hazardous Waste Day on Saturday.
May 3rd, 9 to 12.
What time is it?